Good morning and welcome to Draw 13 of the 2023 Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships, live from Richmond, British Columbia, Canada. Here on Sheet B, we've got Team Canada, who is qualified for the playoffs with a record of 6-0, playing Japan with a record of 1-6. So we do have two groups in the Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships. There's a total of 19 teams. In Group A, China has qualified with a record of 8-0. In Group B, Canada has qualified with a record of 6-0. So there's still 4 qualifying spots up for grabs for these teams. So these last couple round robin draws will determine who those last 4 teams will be qualifying for the playoffs. So it looks like Japan will have hammer here in the first end. Looks like Team Canada is sticking with the same rotation we've seen all week. Joseph throwing the lead stones, Thiessen throwing the middle 3 stones. Looks like Ono from Japan will be throwing the first and last stones of this first end. And Team 8 Shuichi will be throwing the middle 3 stones. So it should be an exciting morning of curling here on draw number 13. Japan looking for the come around draw, room past the guard, and a beautiful rock from Ono of Japan is at rest in the top 8 foot. Looks like Team Canada is looking for the come around draw to the stone in the back 4 foot.
You can't take them 30 seconds to position.
So room past the center guard, and it'll just freeze on the Japanese stone in the top 8 foot. So not a bad result for Thiessen, shrinking down the scoring area. Oh, and my apologies. It looks like we have Ejima throwing the middle 3 stones today. I said his first name earlier, so we have Ejima throwing the middle 3 stones for Team Japan here in draw 13 of the 2023 World Wheelchair Curling Championships. And that stone will tuck just around the Canadian stone. We'll take away the run back combo for Team Canada. So we'll be looking for another draw attempt here into the full 8 foot. Ideally, they'd like this stone to be the top 4 foot. It can be all the way back to frozen in the one in the back 4. So line will be really important on this throw. Nice attempt there from Thiessen. Just a little light on the weight. The line looked really good on that. I noticed Team Canada took less ice on that call than we've seen earlier in the week. We noticed yesterday afternoon and evening that the ice was a little bit straighter. As the week goes on with these long events, sometimes you'll see the rocks straightening out a little bit. So these athletes will have to make some adjustments for the changes with the ice and the stones. Line looking really nice on the stone by Ajima of Team Japan. And it'll freeze on their one in the top 8 foot. So as we've seen all week, lots of stones in play every end with the mixed doubles. So I think we're going to be seeing the hit here. Thiessen calling for the anchor. On every sheet are 2 ice player assistants. You'll see them clearing the stones for the athletes. They'll put the stones in order. They'll clean the bottoms, clear the stones of any debris. And then we'll see athletes asking for the assistance in anchoring to throw higher weight shots. And a nice hit there by Thiessen of Team Canada. Removes one of the Japanese stones out of the top 8 foot. Sticks the shooter. So it looks like it's Team Japan sitting 2 here in the first end.
Yes.
So taking more ice here by Team Japan. Looks like they want to make sure they get around those center guards. You need to add a little more weight out here in the wings.
So, because both
Nice line on this stone. That one will rest just in the top 12 foot. So really well still thrown stone by Ajima of Team Japan. Guards the draw path on the right hand side, and it's still a promotable rock for their team. Team Canada is going to have to make a precise shot here this morning in order to minimize scoring opportunity for Team Japan. It looks like Team Canada is going to opt for the draw here. There is tolerance on this shot. It can be anywhere from the top 4 foot all the way frozen into that stone in the back 4. So big shot coming up here from Joseph of Team Canada. So final stone from Team Canada coming down the ice. Line looks a little tight. And they'll just rub off their stone. It does roll to a nice position, so it bumps the Canadian stone behind that red Japanese guard that was on the right hand side, so it does take that tap away, and the shooter rolls on the left, so it does make this final stone for Ono more difficult. So final stone for Team Japan here in the first end.
If by the 3-second mark there's about that, she can place their stones.
So this one looks a little bit light. It'll just come up to the one in the top 12 foot. So missed opportunity there for Team Japan. And it looks like Japan will score 2 here in the first on draw 13.
Place your stone.
So it looks like on sheet A, Sweden took 2 over Germany after the first end of play. Here on our feature sheet B this morning, Japan took 2 over Canada after the first end of play. On sheet C, Switzerland took 2 over Estonia after the first end of play. On sheet D, Poland took 3 over Hungary after the first end of play. On sheet E, Korea took 1 over Latvia after the first end. And we're still waiting for the results on sheet F between the United States and Scotland. So as I said, there's some big games out here this morning. Some of these teams still looking for one of those qualifier spots. We do know that Team Canada and Team China have already qualified. So Team Canada, having hammered this end, their stone will be placed in the back 4 foot. Team Japan's stone is placed as a center line guard. Looks like Team Japan's going to stay with their same rotation here in the second end. Mixed doubles, these teams do have the option of adjusting their lineups after each end is completed. So they could decide to switch who's throwing the first and last stones and who's throwing the middle 3 stones.
No.
They gotta replace it? What's your own stone?
So unfortunately, that stone from Japan just rubs their center line guard. They can't quite get by. So we'll see Team Canada looking to get another stone in the rings. So our final score update on sheet F, it looks like the United States took 1 over Scotland in the first end. Thiessen likes the look of the stone. Room past the guard. And this one should slide just into the top 8 foot. So nice stone there from Joseph of Team Canada. She'll be really happy with that one. Looks like Team Japan's going to opt to make the come around draw on the other side. Line looks a little tight here. So a nice attempt, just a little light on the weight. This will give Team Canada the opportunity to get another stone in the rings. Both of these teams choosing to have one of their teammates holding a broom at the far end. They do have the option of staying at the delivery end to be an anchor for their teammate. Broom past the guard. This one should just bite the top 12 foot. So nice attempt there. Looks like Team Japan doesn't like where the stone ended up, so they're looking for the hit and roll. The two Canadian stones in the 8 foot and the back 4 foot. You can see them, so you can see a conversation here between Team Japan. Jima may have suggested if you're going to play the hit, play it on the stones in the middle that are shot. Stone's looking good, clears past the guards. Oh, and I'll just rub that top Canadian stone. Oh, that's unfortunate. Not enough to remove one of the stones out of play, but a really nice attempt there by Ajima of Team Japan. That one didn't quite curl it up, but an okay result for Team Canada there, blocking the path for Japan. We'll leave that Japan stone as a usable rock to either play a tap or run back. I think Canada will be happy sitting here with 3 in the second end, draw number 13 in the Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships. Team Japan looking for the come around here. They'd ideally like to get this rock at least in the full 8 foot. Shrink down the scoring area for Team Canada. Line looks pretty good. Gets by that top corner guard. Needs to get by this one in the 8 foot. Oh, no, just rub. Beautiful weight there from Majima of Team Japan. Just rubs off the Canadian stone. So this will be a hit opportunity for Team Canada. A successful stone here will really put the pressure on Team Japan. Nice looking stone coming down the ice from Team Canada. Gets to the inside and makes the roll. A beautiful shot by Thiessen. He liked that one with a fist pump in the air. So there's going to be a big final shot coming up here by Ono of Team Japan. There's a few options available. You've got a tapper run back on that center guard stone. There is room to draw on the left-hand side of the screen. They've played the draw on both sides, so they should have a good idea of where to put the broom and the weight they'd like to play. So we do have one more draw to round off the Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships this evening at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Still 4 qualifying spots available for these teams. So it looks like we're looking at the draw from Ono of Team Japan. A big pressure shot here in the second end. Weight's looking good. Needs to navigate this port. And a little rub off the Canadian stone, but it won't quite roll far enough. So it looks like Team Canada is currently sitting for the final stone yet to come by Joseph. So a big draw here from Joseph. Take advantage of this opportunity to put another point on the board here in the second end. It's been great watching these athletes all week. You'll see the opposition sitting behind the team in control of the house. They'll be watching the line. They'll be timing the pass to learn as much as they can. And a nice looking stone. Room past the guard. And the weight looks right on the mark for Joseph of Team Canada. So 2 nice draws by her this end. And Team Canada will pick up 5 here in the second end to go up a score of 5-2 over Team Japan. On sheet A, it looks like Sweden stole one in the second end, so they are up 3-0 over Germany. Germany's opted to use their power play to start the third end. On sheet C, it looks like Switzerland is up 3-0 over Estonia. On sheet E, Latvia took 2, so they're currently up 2-1 over Korea. We're still waiting for final stones on sheets D and F. So stay tuned for a score update. You got a good view of our ice player assistants getting these rocks in order for these athletes. You'll see them cleaning the stones. It's really important that they clean the bottom of the stones to remove any debris because these athletes do not have any sweeping for their games. So a big shout out to the World Curling Federation, Curling Canada, Curl BC, the Richmond Curling Center, City of Richmond. They've done a great job organizing and executing this event. There's been lots of smiles from all of the athletes as they head into the ice and they come off the ice every game. So we've been having lots of fun here in Richmond, British Columbia, hosting 2 World Wheelchair Curling Championships this week with 31 teams and over 90 athletes. Team Canada, their stone will be placed at the back. Sorry, Japan's stone will be placed at the back forefoot because they have hammered this end. And Team Canada's stone will be a center line guard.
That's their penalty.
Looking for a come around draw here from Joseph of Team Canada. Once again, sticking with the same rotation that we've seen all week. She just threw a couple of nice draws in the second end. And it looks like she's going to be right on the mark with this one and freeze just in front of the Japanese stone. So still room for Japan to come on top. And like this one, to end up right on the button. So our score update on sheet F, it looks like Scotland stole one, so they're currently up 2-0 over the United States. We're still looking for the score update on the Poland-Hungary. So a really nice draw there by Ono, Team Japan. Draws right on to the one
If the stone is
sitting
complaining about their time, it's because they
on
haven't
the
placed their
button.
yellow stone in the house.
So with the mixed doubles game, we'll see lots of play coming into the middle. You'll see almost every stone in play each end as you look across these sheets here in Richmond. Team Canada looking to guard this path. They'd really like to force Japan to one in this third end. And a beautifully placed stone there by Thiessen of Team Canada. So it looks like there's still room for Ejima to draw another one into the button. So it looks like we're waiting for a measure on sheet D between Poland and Hungary in the second end. These teams are keeping it exciting here this morning. So Ejima taking lots of ice on this draw path. Taking ice on the edge of the 12-foot. Line's looking really nice on the stone. And it'll rest just in front of the 4-foot. So really nice attempt, nice line.
Clock wasn't started.
So we'll see Thiessen looking for a similar result. They'd like to take this draw path away, so if they can get this stone in the 8-foot or just biting the top 4-foot is what they're looking for on this one. A nice draw there by Thiessen. Would have liked that stone to stop about a foot shorter. Still a really good result. So it looks like we have an equipment technical timeout happening on sheet A. Finally have our score update. It looks like Poland got another one. Oh, so they're currently up 4-0 over Hungary. As we know with mixed doubles and having these place stones, no lead is safe. And a beautiful draw there by Ajima of Team Japan. So tightening the ice up here. I think we'll see some backhouse weight. Team Canada will be looking to get to the nose of that Japanese stone. Wiggle the rocks around. So this is a setup shot for Joseph with the blast. Line looking good. Gets past that center line guard. Gets past the one in the top. And a nice shot there by Thiessen of Team Canada. It's going to make it really difficult for Team Japan to score a big end. Taking a look. Great positioning on that rock by Team Canada.
I'll start Alpha when she's comfortably in place at the very end.
So it looks like we're back in action on sheet A.
Okay, start Alpha.
Okay, I started and stopped it, so I'm just gonna
No,
do it
start
and
it.
go
Yeah,
through.
start it. Copy, time in Alpha.
Oh, we can hear a round of applause over on sheet E. Korea happy with that third end. Great to see spectators coming out this morning, giving their team some support. So another draw coming in for Ajima of Team Japan. Taking about 3 inches more ice than the first. As you go further out on the sheet, the pebble will still be a little fresh. And that one looks like a draw to take away that tap for Team Canada. So Team Canada taking a look. I think they'd be happy minimizing Team Japan to 2 points this end and have Hammer coming home in the fourth.
That rock at the end has to come out of the house before you start it. Well, when he's kicking out now.
Oh, okay, so stop.
Once you get up, start it now. You gotta watch the rocks as they come out the side. They'll start talking to all those rocks.
Okay, gotcha.
Joseph coming down from Team Canada to throw the final stone here in the third. Zoom out for a second. So as you see on the bottom of my screen, Joseph has moved her rock off the center here. The athletes do have 18 inches in which they can move the rock off the center line if they're delivering from in front of the rings. If they're delivering from inside the house, they do have to keep that stone on the center line. So looks like we're playing, looks like a tap attempt here. Stone needs to curl up.
Should I just make it up? That's fine.
And a really nice attempt there by Joseph of Team Canada. Just needed that stone to curl a little more. That was a difficult shot. That may give Team Japan a little bit of backing or rock to roll off of into the forefoot. I'm not able to tell who it is shot from this end, but we'll wait to find out. So that big round of applause that we heard a few minutes ago was because Korea took 4 in the third end. They're now up 5-2 over Latvia. Latvia looking to play their power play in the fourth end. So you can catch all the curling action this morning on all of our live stream channels. So final stone here from Ono of Japan. Looking for the forefoot. And this stone doesn't look like it has quite enough weight to get there. So another exciting end here. Lots of rocks in play. We'll see how many points are going to go up on the board. On sheet A, Germany took 1, so it's now 3-1 for Sweden over Germany after 3 ends of play. On sheet C, it looks like we're still waiting for final stones on sheet C and D. Sheet F, it's 5-2 for Korea over Latvia, and we'll have some more score updates shortly. Not quite behind the sheet here, so we are on a bit of an angle, but do our best to give you a full view of the rings. So each team has a minute and a half in between the ends. Gives them an opportunity to chat with their coaches, refuel or hydrate. So it looks like Japan scored 2 in the third end. So our score is now 5-4, Team Canada over Japan. So Canada will have hammer here in the fourth end. You'll see their stone placed in the back forefoot. If you're watching mixed doubles for the first time, each team has 1 stone placed to start off, and they will each get to throw 5 rocks. So Team Japan's rock will be placed as a center line guard. Looks like both teams sticking with their same rotations. With Ono throwing the first and last stones for Team Japan. We'll see Ajima throw the middle 3 stones. And on Team Canada, we'll see Joseph throwing the first and final stones. And we'll see Thiessen throwing the middle 3 stones. So on sheet F, it's currently Scotland up 2-1 over the United States. Korea's up 5-2 over Latvia after the third end. Switzerland is up 3-2 over Estonia after 3 ends of play. Canada's up 5-4 over Japan after 3 ends of play. And Sweden is up 3-1 over Germany after 3 ends of play. So a little heavy on that draw by Team Japan. Just comes to rest at the back 8 foot. It's an opportunity here for Canada to get this stone in front of the tee line. When you have hammer, you'd like to score your multiple points. You'd like to score in the even ends. Line looks good. Room past the guard. And this stone should come to rest in the top, just biting the top 4 foot. So a nice stone there by Joseph of Team Canada. She's been throwing those draws really well this morning. So Japan opting for the draw here. Tolerance on this shot, they could corner freeze to the one in the top 4 foot, or they could freeze to the one in the back 4 foot. They'd really like to shrink down this scoring area for Team Canada this end. And a really nice stone there by Ajima of Team Japan. Just rubs off that top stone, spins to shot. Joseph asking Thiessen to come down and take a look at these angles. There is room to make a play on the yellow Canadian stone into the Japanese stone, and that would push it off the side. That stone being where it is difficult to make the nose hit without jamming on your back Canadian stone. So they'll be looking to make a play on theirs to move that Japanese stone out of the button. So score update on sheet D. It looks like Poland takes another one, and they're now up 5-0 over Hungary after 3 ends of play. So we'll see some weight being played on this shot by Thiessen of Team Canada. Ideally, you want enough to move that red stone into the back of the rings. You'd like to potentially keep your shooter in play as well. Stone's looking really close. And a nice shot there by Thiessen of Team Canada. Well executed shot. He's thrown those really well all week. Leaves the Canadian stone biting the top button. And they're currently sitting 2 with hammer in the 4th end. So another draw attempt here coming from Ajima of Team Japan. Looking to make a freeze on one of these Canadian stones in the rings. And a really well thrown stone by Ajima of Team Japan. So it looks like Team Canada is still sitting 1. But the red Japanese stone is in a really good position. And it looks like Team Canada is going to use their timeout. They'll have Coach Ferguson come out, have a conversation about which options they'd like to look at. Weight choice on the shot that they do select will be really important for Thiessen.
Give him another 10 minutes, 10 seconds. Yeah.
Okay, yep, no, at the end of that.
Put the time in, put the time in.
Okay. Sorry, so keep your.
So it looks like Team Canada's having a discussion about which way they'd like to play, make a play on this Japanese stone or their own. And it looks like we're gonna see the peel. So peel here should mean that Joseph will have an easier shot on her last. This will leave a hit for Team Japan, but will also leave an open hit for Joseph. So after 4 ends of play, it looks like Germany has tied it up with Sweden. After 4 ends of play, they're tied 3-3. On our sheet here, a well executed peel by Thiessen of Team Canada. It's decision time here for Team Japan. They could opt to put the guard back. They're also discussing a hit on the Team Canada stones. They could even make a tap on that Team Canada stone, push it to the back rings, leave their shooter sitting in front of the tee line. Anytime you have stones grouped in the back of the rings without hammer, those stones are your friends. So they're really going to want to limit Team Canada here, especially after they gave up a big score of 5 in the second end when Team Canada had hammer. So on sheet E, Latvia scores 2. It's now 5-4 for Korea over Latvia after 4 ends of play, heading into the break. Looks like we've got back out waist on the shot from Majima of Team Japan. This rock will need to curl a little more. So nice attempt there. Needed to curl up a little bit more to keep the delivered stone in front of the tee line. The Canadian stone rolls frozen into the one in the back 8 foot. So, opportunity here for Team Canada. They've got room to roll their shooter onto the Japanese stone behind the tee line. They're looking for hitting this rock on the inside half. Make sure it gets by theirs in the back forefoot. This rock needs to curl. You should see some finish at the end. And it just rubs the Japanese stone. So they may have pushed it far enough. Unfortunately, that rock just kind of rode the line, didn't quite curl up enough at the end. So there is a chance here for Team Japan to make either a hit on those two yellow Canadian stones, or they could look to freeze the pocket and take this end away from Team Canada for a multiple point score. So Team Japan having a conversation here. We'll see what Ono is more comfortable throwing. So a smart call here, playing the draw. This shot will give more room for tolerance. So looking for this stone to be anywhere from top of the forefoot to frozen to the back ones. Looks like Estonia is up over Switzerland 4-3 after 4 ends of play. So more than enough weight on this shot. With that much ice, we might not see the finish. Oh, and an unfortunate miss there by Ono of Team Japan. Just threw a little more weight to ensure that stone would get to the back. And on this ice, if you do up the weight, it will run a little straighter longer that far out in the wings. So it's difficult to see who is second shot from this angle.
It wasn't even placed when red stone threw the rock.
Team Canada is sitting two. They'll just need to play the draw. They think that red Japanese stone is outcounting theirs. We may see them play a draw and look for a rub. So an open draw here for Joseph of Team Canada. She's been throwing these really well this morning. Looking for full forefoot. Canadian team taking less ice than Team Japan. That speaks to the extra rotation that they throw on their stones. Thiessen likes the look of this one. Out of the hand of Joseph. Line's looking good, but this rock needs some legs to keep going. And a missed opportunity there for Team Canada. So Team Japan's going to have another look at these yellow stones. Close, we may see a measure. So it looks like we're calling for a measure. I think we can say it's one for sure for Team Canada. see the measure to confirm if it's 1 or 2. So these athletes will have a 7-minute break in between the ends. So stay tuned to find out how many points are going to go on the board here in the fourth end between Team Japan and Team Canada. So on sheet C, it looks like it is currently 4-3 for Estonia over Switzerland. Poland is up 5-0 over Hungary. Korea is up 5-4 over Latvia. And it looks like it's 3-1 for Scotland over the United States after 4 ends of play. So some exciting curling here this morning on Draw 13 of the 2023 Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships. We've got the final round robin draw tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think it'll be coming down to that final draw to determine who the last 4 qualifier teams will be for the playoffs. And it looks like it's going to be 2 for Team Canada. They'll go up 7-4 over Team Japan. So we'll be back after a short break, heading into the 5th end of play. We are back after the fourth end break. 4 ends left to play here in Draw 13, 2023 Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships. Some close scores out on the ice this morning. 4 teams still looking for a qualifier spot. So far we know that Team China is in for Group A and Team Canada is in for Group B. Team Canada sticking with their same rotation that we've seen for the first 4 ends of play here today. These teams do have the option of adjusting their lineup after each end has completed. So players will either get to throw the first stones and the last stones, or they'll get to throw the middle 3 stones. So each end will start with rocks placed at the far end. Team Canada's stone will be placed as a center line guard. Team Japan's rock is placed in the back 4 foot because they have hammer here in the 5th. A little light on that come around draw attempt by Joseph. We've seen that all week, even though these sheets are mopped in the break, and typically you'd see the ice be a little bit quicker. We've actually seen the opposite here in Richmond. So the athletes will have to be mindful about throwing a little extra as they come back out to play the 5th. But it's definitely a trend that we've seen all week. So it looks like Ono Japan a little bit light and tight on that one as well. So lots of guards in play to start off this 5th end here on sheet B. We had a measure at the end of the 4th, and Team Canada did score 2 points, so they're now up 7-4. They'll be happy scoring multiple points with hammer in the even ends. It's always ideal when you're out there on the ice. Team Canada having a discussion here. I think we're going to see a tap attempt by Thiessen of Team Canada. Looking to tap the center line guard and promote it into the rings. Line's pretty close. Weight looks really nice. And a nice tap there by Thiessen of Team Canada. Leaves the delivered stone still on the center line so it can be used later on. Gets a rock in there to shrink that come around draw for Team Japan. This ice looks like Team Japan's going to be looking for the come around. They'd like to get this stone in the 8 foot and be sitting 2. We'll have to watch throwing a little bit more weight here on the wings after the break. And that one will come up just a little bit short. So Team Canada being up 3 points, we may expect to see them play some hits. They'd like to keep things simple and keep things clean, minimize the scoring opportunities for Team Japan here in the 5th. like they're going to play the peel on their own stone. It would help to open up, hit opportunities for any Japanese stones in the rings. So they're going to open up. They're going to touch the yellow stone, which will kick it to the back 8 foot. Was really close on running that one into the Japanese stone in the back 4 foot. So Team Japan, having hammer here, has some options. This looks like they might be playing a guard. Another option here would be to use those corner guards. Play the inside out draw with that Canadian stone in the back 8 foot. It does give you something to draw up to. So I'm a bit surprised by this call. It looks like they want to protect shot stone at the back of the 4 foot. So a nice shot from what was called. Again, when you have those corner guards and your opposition stone goes deep, it's a great opportunity to use them and really set yourself up for multiple points. So I think Team Canada's okay with keeping the play in the middle. I think we'll be looking for them to remove this Japanese stone that's currently sitting in the back 4 foot. So Thiesen's going to have to navigate this port. A pro side miss here would be to remove the center guard stone out of play. So some tolerance on this shot. Oh, and just rubs the Japanese stone. Almost gets by there. Looks like they didn't push that stone into the rings. So moving it off to the side was okay on that call. So we'll see if Team Japan opts to play the same shot and replace it, or if they'll make a different call here. So it looks like on sheet E, after 5 ends of play, Korea and Latvia are all tied up. So a really close game going on over there. Looks like Germany is up 1 over Sweden, playing the 6th end. Sweden has opted to use their power play in the 6th. On our live stream sheet B here, it looks like Team Japan opted for the come around draw. I think this is a smart call, using the guards that they have. The Canadian stone in the back, it'll make it more difficult to remove it from play. So a nice attempt there by Ajima. Even though Team Japan didn't quite get shot on that, it is a stone that you could split later in the end, or something you could still come around. So it looks like we'll see a hit here from Team Canada. Joseph will be looking to connect with the Japanese stone at the back of the 4 foot. If she can keep her shooter in place, could force Japan to 1 here this end. And you don't have hammer and you can force your opposition to 1. It's a big end win. Final stone from Joseph of Team Canada. Broom wave from teammate Thiessen at the far end. Like the look of the stone. Needs to curl past the guard. Just curls past that Japanese stone and makes a nice hit and roll. So big smiles from Joseph on that one. Played that pretty close to the guards, but a really nice result. So we'll see Team Japan needs a full 8 foot on this draw to score their 1 point. There's room for this draw. Lots of room in the rings. Lots of room for tolerance on this shot. Anywhere from full 8 foot at the top of the rings to the back. On sheet C, it looks like Switzerland scores a big 3 in the 5th. They're now up 6-4 over Estonia. It's now 5-3 for Poland over Hungary. Oh, and unfortunately that stone isn't gonna curl up enough for Ono of Japan. That rock had really nice weight. It was really close. Just didn't quite catch the curl outside of the 4 foot line. And so that's going to be a big steal for Team Canada in the 5th end. So after 5 ends of play, it looks like it's Germany is up 4-3 over Sweden. Canada is now up 9-4 over Team Japan here on sheet B. On sheet C, Switzerland is up 6-4 over Estonia. On sheet D, it's currently Poland up 5-3 over Hungary. On sheet E, we're still waiting for it looks like Latvia steals one to tie things up with Korea 5-5. And Scotland is now up 4-1 over the United States on sheet F. So you can catch the live coverage on our other YouTube streams here this morning of Draw 13 of the 2023 Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships. There's still one more round robin draw left today, 7:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 4 teams yet to qualify for the playoff rounds. We've got some big games out on the ice this morning. So lots of exciting play yet to come from both World Wheelchair Curling Championships here in Richmond, British Columbia, Canada. So something we haven't seen from either team here on sheet B this morning is use of the power play. And for those of you watching mixed doubles curling for the first time, each team has one power play that they can use when they have hammer. And what that means is their rocks will get set up as a corner guard and a rock on the tee line. And a nice draw there by Joseph. Taps the Japanese rock out of the back of the 4 foot. She's going to feel really good about that one after coming up short in the 5th. So a nice weight adjustment there. We'll see Team Japan wanting to follow the same path. They'd like to lock this one onto the top of the Canadian stone, just resting in the back button. Should see the finish on the stone as it crosses the 4 foot lines. And a beautiful stone from Ono of Team Japan. They would have liked that rock to curl just a little more, so when they made that bump, it would have bumped past their rock in the back 8 foot. But still a really nice result on that. believe these teams cannot remove any stones out of play. They cannot make a hit until 3 stones have been played in the end.
Is 4 stone. So 4 stone. 5 stones.
So an option here for Team Canada. They'd like to make the freeze. A bump on this Japanese stone to the back 8 foot is okay too. So weight and line are going to be key on this shot by Thiessen of Team Canada. Line looks good. This rock needs to curl as it comes into the rings. And a beautiful stone by Thiessen of Team Canada. Gets to the nose, pushes that Japanese stone out of the 4 foot. Team Canada currently sitting 2 here in the 6th end without hammer. So Team Japan taking their time here to decide which way they want to make a play on these Canadian stones in the 4 foot. On sheet A beside us, Sweden takes 2 using their power play. So they'll go up 5-4 over Germany after 6 ends of play. Looks like Team Japan has opted to draw the stone on the left-hand side of your screen. Line is running. This one should come to the one in the back 4 foot. Oh, just ever so slightly heavy. The shooter rolls off, so that will be open for Team Canada. Still a nice shot by Ajima of Team Japan. Moves the Canadian stone between their 2 red stones in the back of the 8 foot. That's not an easy port to navigate through. So Team Canada is allowed to hit these stones. Dennis will be looking for the double here. He can get to the inside, he can make the double and roll the shooter over onto the Japanese stone on the right hand side in the 8 foot. Stone's just running that line. Oh, and just a little wide of the mark there. We've seen Thiessen make contact on his hits this week, so it's a bit of a surprise. So an opportunity here for Team Japan to capitalize on that miss and get another stone into the 4 foot. Looks like similar weight to the previous stone thrown by Ajima of Team Japan. Nice line, just bumps theirs back. So Team Japan currently sitting shot. Well, it's going to be close if they're shot or if the Canadian stone is still shot at the top of the button. Good news for Team Japan on that throw. They only bump their rock to the back 8 foot, so there is a wall building here. It'll make it more difficult for Team Canada to remove these stones out of the back of the rings. So I think on this one, Thiessen will be looking to get to nose. Inside roll behind their other stone would really shrink down the scoring area for Team Japan. So a little less weight being thrown on this one than the previous attempt by Thiessen. Oh, and it just won't curl up. The shooter rolls out of the rings. There's a wall of red in the back 8-foot. And one lonely Canadian stone sitting in the top of the button. So with that wall of red, it is going to be difficult for Team Japan to completely remove it out of play without jamming. And it will be there as a wall for Joseph's last stone as well. So on sheet E, it looks like Latvia stole 3 over Korea. Korea's last stone draw attempt slid through the rings. So it's currently 8-5 for Latvia over Korea. It's been a really back and forth game on sheet E. And we're still waiting for the other sheets to finish their 6th ends for a score update. So it looks like Team Japan's going to use their timeout here. They need to be strategic on how they can move that Canadian stone and give themselves an opportunity for a multiple point score end here to get themselves back in this game.
Last time I missed it.
And it looks like Switzerland just scored possibly 3 over Estonia. They're going up 9-4, heading into the 7th end of play. Close game on sheet A between Germany and Sweden. Sweden currently up 5-4 after 6 ends of play. So some encouragement there. Team Japan's coach to the athletes. They still have some room to give themselves some opportunity here in the 6th to get a couple of points back on the board. We still have 2 stones to play on sheet F, and it looks like they have every rock in play in the rings right now. So we'll have an interesting score update coming from sheet F shortly. Same with sheet D. Every rock in play, almost every rock in the rings.
Sheet Charlie, red clock started.
On sheet B, looks like Team Japan's opted for the draw. They'd like to position themselves to set up for a few points this end. Looking for the corner freeze on this Canadian stone. And a nice rock there by Ejima of Team Japan. May have just over curled at the end. I think Team Canada is going to look to make a draw. They'd like to get a second rock in play. Room for Joseph on tolerance. This rock can be anywhere from biting the 4-foot to frozen to those ones in the back 8-foot. You'd be okay with giving your opposition 1 point here to have hammer coming into the 7th. So it looks like Estonia is opting to use their power play in the 7th end against Switzerland. They're going to need to score a couple of points to get themselves into a possibly tie game. Looking to force an extra there. So big draw coming up here for Joseph of Team Canada. Looking to get another stone into the rings. He doesn't like the look of the stone as it was delivered.
Charlie, red stone was charged 10 seconds for not placing.
Line's looking really good. And a beautiful draw by Joseph of Team Canada. Our in-house fans giving a round of applause. Team Canada still sitting one without last rock here in the sixth end against Team Japan. Poland is currently up 7-3 over Hungary after 6 ends of play. Scotland is up 5-1 over the United States after 6 ends of play. Latvia's up 8-5 over Korea after 6 ends of play. So final stone about to come from Team Japan. Here on Sheath B, draw 13 of the 2023 World Wheelchair Mixed Doubles Curling Championships. Needs to get a piece of the button to score a point. This rock's just riding that line
Prematurely.
and won't quite curl up. So it looks like it's going to be one more for Team Canada here in the sixth end. They will go up by a score of 10-4 over Team Japan with 2 ends left to play. Okay, an exciting start here to the seventh end. It looks like Team Japan is going to be using their power play. So each team has the option of using their power play with hammer at any point during the game. So you'll notice that these stones are set up on the left-hand side of the sheet. Team Canada's rock set up as a corner guard. Team Japan's rock will be sitting just in front of the tee line. I'm glad you're getting an opportunity to see the setup for the power play, especially if you're watching mixed doubles for the first time. It's currently Team Canada up 10-4 over Team Japan. With 2 ends left to play here in draw number 13. Looks like we have another power play being used in the seventh end. Team USA using theirs as well. So looking for the come around draw here. This rock's really close to that center line guard and just gets by. A nice draw there, right into the forefoot by Ono of Team Japan. Team Canada looking to just push the stone into the back of the rings. Stones cannot be removed until the first 3 stones of the end have been delivered, but they can move them around. So Thiessen will be looking to get as close to nose as possible, keep the delivered stone under cover. And it looks like on sheet E, Korea scores there too using the power play in the 7th end. So it's 8-7 for Latvia over Korea, heading into the final end of play. So a tight one happening there. Oh, and just a slight overcurl there by Thiessen. Rolls the shooter into the top 12 foot, pushes their guard over, so this Japanese stone is currently open. So for Team Canada, they'll be looking to keep things clean, keep things simple, and minimize Team Japan's scoring opportunities. For Team Japan, they've now got corner guards on both sides of the sheet. That's what you like to see when you're trying to generate multiple points with hammer. They're looking to replace that center line guard. Another option here would be to play a come around one of those corner guards, hide some more stones behind cover. It looks like they want to protect this stone in the 4-foot. Now we're coming around. You can see the encouragement from Ono for this rock to slow down. And a nice rock there from Ajima of Team Japan, currently sitting 3 with hammer here in the 7th end. So on sheet A, Germany took 2 and 7. So Germany is now up 6-5 over Sweden. So a single point difference on sheet A. Got a 1-point game on sheet E as well. Latvia is up 8-7 over Korea with hammer. It's currently 7-3 for Poland over Hungary on sheet D. They're still finishing up the 7th end. So nice hit from Team Canada on our feature sheet B. Leaves Team Japan still sitting 2. Smart call here by Team Japan, looking to use that corner guard. With that first stone going to the back 8-foot, it does give them room to hide more stones around that corner guard. So we'll likely see Team Canada opting to make a play on those stones with Thiessen's next one. So line looking good. We've seen Team Japan taking more ice. Their rocks have been finishing more than the Canadian stones this morning. And a nice stone there by Ajima. So Japan currently sitting 3 with hammer. There is room to make a play on that stone. Might be room to make a double, but looking for contact first. And some options here on this shot for Team Canada. On sheet D, Hungary scores a big 3 to bring this game within 1 point. So it's now Poland is up 7-6 over Hungary. Poland will have hammer in the last end of play. So some really tight games here this morning. These teams looking to qualify for the playoff rounds. Oh, and a nice double attempt there by Thiessen. Just jams it at the end. Still a really well thrown stone. Japan's currently sitting 2 with hammer. Even if Team Canada gives up 2 points here, they'll still be up by 4 with hammer in the final end of play, which is a comfortable place to be.
Charlie Yellowstone. Time has been corrected 5 seconds.
Line's looking a little tight on this draw attempt by Ajima. A bit of an unfortunate miss there. Coming up short of the ring, so this gives Team Canada an opportunity to follow that path. They'd like to bury a stone around those corner guards and take away a multiple point score end from Team Japan. So draw opportunity for Team Canada, looking to limit the scoring for Team Japan here in the 7th end.
Timing to sheet delta, Leo Yellowstone is 20 seconds. Making the correction there. 20 seconds.
Line looking good. We'll see the finish here in the end as the rock comes into the 4-foot lines. This rock will need to slow down. Needs full 8 foot to be shot. Oh, and it'll just slide a little bit deep. So Team Japan sitting 1 for sure, maybe 2. And an opportunity to put a couple points on the board. Team Canada would have liked that rock to have stopped full 8 foot. Even short of the rings as a center guard would have made this final draw a little more difficult for Team Japan. So wide open rings for Ono of Japan. Looking for at least full 8 foot to score at least 2 points here in the 7th end. On sheet C, Switzerland is up 9-7 over Estonia. Switzerland using their power play in the 8th end. So it looks like that'll be a score of 3 for Team Japan. Their power play pays off in the 7th. So it'll be 10-7 for Team Canada. We'll have hammer here in the final end of play. And it looks like we'll see Team Canada opting to use their power play here in the 8th. So we'll be happy to have an open setup to start this end. They'll be looking to keep things clean and have opportunity to the button if they need it with their final stone.
I'll take it downstairs again.
So some exciting finishes here this morning in draw 13 of the 2023 Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships. Some really close games. Teams looking for those final 4 qualifying spots for the playoffs. So Team Canada will have hammer here in the 8th end. They're up by 3, so they're sitting in a very comfortable position to get another W on the board. So Team Japan will have some work to do to create opportunities to put themselves in a steal position. Both teams sticking with the same rotation we've seen for this entire game. If you're watching mixed doubles for the first time, these athletes do have the option of adjusting their lineups at the completion of every end. So they will either get the opportunity to throw the first and last stones, or they can throw the middle 3 stones. These teams also have the option of having one of their teammates holding the broom, or they can stay at the delivered end to be the anchor for the person throwing the stones. So we've seen different setups with the teams during this week. This is what we've seen from Team Canada all week. They like to have the target. This gives the team a look at these paths from both ends of the ice. And a nice draw there by Joseph of Team Canada. So Team Canada did not opt to make a hit on that Japanese stone in the top of the rings. They cannot remove any stones from play until after the 3rd stone has been thrown. And we have our first final of the morning. Latvia defeats Korea 10-7. It's on sheet E. Looks like Team Japan has opted for a centerline guard. It's a smart call there, being down 3. You need all the coverage you can get in order to generate a steal here in the 8th end without hammer. Team Canada is allowed to start removing stones from play. Thiessen has made some nice hits today and right on the mark with that one. So nice hit from Thiessen. Our fans here upstairs in the lounge appreciating the shot. Japan looking for a freeze on the Canadian stone behind cover. Line looks good, needs to keep going. And a really nice attempt there by Ejima of Japan. By keeping that stone in front of the Canadian stone, it will make it more difficult to remove from play. We have a measure on sheet A between Germany and Sweden. Sweden opted to throw their final stone away, so we'll stay tuned to see if there's going to be an extra end on sheet A this morning for draw 13. So it looks like we have another final. Switzerland defeats Estonia with a score of 9-7. So Team Canada Stone through the rings. So we'll see Team Japan looking to make the come around draw to the top of the 4-foot.
I know, I got your email yesterday.
And it looks like Sweden gets one in the 8th end, so sheet A is going to go to an extra. Ooh, Jima's rock needing to slow down. It will stay in the rings, but it's still Team Canada sitting one with last rock here in the 8th end. So we have another final. Looks like Poland defeats Hungary with a score of 9-6. So we still have 3 games in play here this morning on draw number 13. Scotland is currently up 6-1 over the United States. So sitting comfortably so far this morning. So a nice draw coming into the rings of Thiessen, just gets by that center guard and will stop in the top 4-foot. A beautiful stone by Team Canada. So I'm not sure there is a shot here for Team Japan to remove 2 Canadian stones to score 3. Those Canadian stones being almost even, there isn't a double opportunity. So it looks like Team Japan is going to opt to throw their last stone. They might be playing this just to find some draw weight. So final stone coming from Ono of Team Japan. Japan needs to be sitting 3 in order to force an extra end. It looks like this stone is not going to get by the Canadian one, and it's going to push them into the rings. Team Canada sitting 3 will defeat Team Japan here in draw number 13. This will improve their standings to 8-0. They've been perfect so far this week, and they'll have a lot of confidence heading into the playoff rounds. So thank you for tuning in to draw 13, Canada versus Japan. We've got more mixed doubles action coming this evening at 7 o'clock p.m. We've got the World Wheelchair Curling Championships happening at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So lots of exciting curling. You can head over to the Germany-Sweden game. They're currently in an extra end. And we still have 2 rocks left to play in the United States-Scotland game. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again later this evening at 7 o'clock p.m. for more mixed